If you're looking for inexpensive meals that your family will actually eat, you've come to the right spot. Welcome to Meals with Maria. Today I have inexpensive but realistic family dinners. These are things you won't have to buy a ton of ingredients. Some of them are one pot, and they're things that I guarantee even your kids will eat. They are delicious, easy to make, and are not gonna break the bank. Something else that's realistic and is not going to break your family budget is Temu. Temu is an amazing website and app where you can buy things for really inexpensive prices. I have worked with Temu before because I just love a bargain. Temu offers competitively priced products for home decor, your kitchen, your bathroom. I'm thinking even some Easter stuff is coming up. Anything that's for the holidays, clothing. I actually got some pants from there that I love and some beautiful shoes. Jewelry. It's amazing what kind of options that they have. Temu offers top quality products at ultra affordable prices so that everyone can enjoy the comforts that life has to offer. You can visit Temu.com or download the super easy to use Temu app. For spring, Temu is running a massive site-wide sale. If you head over to Temu.com or use that app, you're gonna get discounts up to 90% off. Temu offers free shipping, free returns up to 90 days, and accepts all major credit cards, debit cards, electronic payments, and pay later programs. Some of the items that I got in my most recent Temu order were for the kitchen. As always, I'm always looking for more things. I've been doing a lot of meal prep lately, so I grabbed these ultra affordable refrigerator crispers. I personally love the sleek style of these and that they are clear. They're gonna be perfect for a lot of vegetable prep and fruit prep for me. For me, cooking or like slicing things ahead of time is sometimes super helpful, and placing them in a container like this keeps them fresh and ready to go for when I'm ready to cook. If you're like me and you're always in the kitchen, you can never get enough sponges. Now, something I also like is the aesthetic on these sponges. There's actually 20 of them in this package, but the sponge itself is really kind of aesthetically pleasing, I guess, and I like that in a sponge. Maybe I'm kind of a dork about it, but when I am scrubbing something, I like to feel good, right? I think in one of my Temu orders, I actually ordered some gloves to use in the kitchen, and they're beautiful gloves. And it just makes me feel better. So same thing with my sponges. I like a nice aesthetic sponge, but I also love that I was able to get 20 of them for such a great price. So inexpensive. And when you're washing dishes as much as I am, you need that many to be on hand. And just, you know what, sometimes it's like you wash something and you're like, the sponge isn't going to be good after. So it's nice to know that I can just toss them and I have 20 more of them waiting for me. Another item I got from my kitchen are these stainless steel protect boxes. There's 5 of them in this package, and they have covers, which is another great way for me to meal prep. I absolutely love little bowls like this. I love that they have covers, and I really can't get enough of them. And for that price, it's kind of a no-brainer. Another item that I grabbed were these solar LED candles. I think they look pretty cute. Personally, I am one to potentially light a candle and forget to blow it out. So these are really good if you're the kind of person that loves candles but doesn't love burning down your house. These are gorgeous and they're gonna be beautiful decor. Another item that I grabbed was a little gift for myself, these beautiful earrings. They have tons of different options when it comes to jewelry, and they're so much more inexpensive than other places that I've seen. So it's a great way to treat yourself, or even like I said, for Easter, if that's something you wanna slide in. I'm going out to dinner tonight and I'm probably gonna snag one of these pairs and put them on. I haven't been wearing earrings as much as I would like to because Ben tends to snag onto them, but when it comes to a nice dinner, I think it's worth maybe getting my ear grabbed to wear a nice pair. All of the items that I just shared are listed in my description box, and you can also click the link below, shop Temu, and use the code NEXT499 to get 30% off. I was, again, super happy with the fast shipping and the products that I got, and I know you will be too. Here we have a beautiful and bright one-pot chicken spaghetti. This is too easy not to make, and you can kind of switch things in and out with what you have on hand, and that's what I love about it. You want about 1 cup of diced tomatoes, and you do want to remove the seeds from those. And I think if you had like a can of diced tomatoes, if you just drain those out, those would probably work fine too. And then you're also going to want a couple tablespoons of cilantro if you have it on hand, but I think this would taste fine without cilantro if you don't have it too. It just makes it bright and pretty, and because I had it, I definitely decided to use it. And then to a pot, you want to make sure that you have like a large stock pot. You want to add 4 cups of chicken broth, or you can use chicken bouillon, and you want to do that over medium-high heat. And then we're going to add in 3/4 pound of spaghetti, and you just want to break that spaghetti in half. And I use like half whole wheat, half like regular spaghetti, so I think whatever you have will do. You definitely want to use the thinner spaghetti noodles, or and like a thin noodle, because we are going to cook it within that chicken broth. So if you try and mess around with a different type of noodle, I don't really know like the cooking instructions and if that would work. You want to bring this up to a boil, then bring it down to a simmer and let it cook for about 10 minutes until almost all of the liquid is evaporated. To your cooked pasta, you want to add in 8 ounces of cream cheese, 2 cups of cooked chicken, so you can have leftover chicken. I had some shredded chicken that I did in the Instant Pot. I'll put a recipe for that down below. And you could also, it's great to use like with a rotisserie chicken as well. Then you want to add in your diced tomatoes. I had some frozen broccoli that I just microwaved according to package instructions and added that right in there, probably about 2.5 cups. And then 1 cup of shredded cheddar cheese, or you could use Monterey Jack here too. That would probably be really good. And then I happen to have some bacon bits, so I just added mine right in. Those real bacon bits from Walmart would be great here too. The broccoli and the bacon is not in the original recipe. The original recipe is just a plain chicken creamy sauce, but I wanted to add some vegetables, and like I said, because I had the bacon on hand, I knew that bacon makes everything better. Why not add it in? So you just want to mix everything together until it is like fully mixed. You want that cream cheese to kind of melt down, all that cheese to melt down, and it is so cheesy and delicious. Just topped this with that cilantro and just a couple other pieces of diced tomato because it would look really pretty and bright, but you can serve it just like this as is. I did mine with a little bit of red pepper flakes and some Parmesan cheese. This also made a huge portion. So there's 5 of us. Ben enjoyed it so much. The boys also liked it. My husband liked it, and we were able to have it the next day for lunch. We had so many leftovers, and luckily it was so good heated up, because it's just like a kind of like a, you know, like almost like a macaroni and cheese, you know, a pasta dish like that. It reheats really, really well. And I was just really happy that it really kind of had the, you know, like a protein factor, a carbohydrate factor, and a vegetable factor. Next up, we have chicken taco casserole, and this is a mix, dump, and bake recipe, and I so love something like that. It makes it easy on a weeknight for you, and it's delicious. Okay, we're just going to put all the ingredients together in a bowl and be able to dump it right in the casserole dish. So I think I had like 9 corn tortillas. I think the original recipe calls for 12, so use what you have. I love this recipe because a lot of times when I buy corn tortillas, I have so many left over. This is a great way to use your leftover tortillas. Into a large bowl, ideally you want to add 2 10-ounce cans of Rotel. I happen to have 1 can of hot Rotel, and then I didn't have any more, which was kind of perfect because I didn't want it to be too spicy. So I just used the 1 can of Rotel, and then I just used 1 can of diced tomatoes. And then to that, I just added 1 drained can of corn. If you have frozen corn, you could use that as well. This recipe is super forgiving. Also, if you have a can of black beans on hand, go ahead and throw those in there. I was out of cans of black beans, and I didn't have time to make mine in the Instant Pot, you know, using the dried black beans. So I just skipped them, and the recipe was great. But if you want to add black beans, you absolutely should. For spices, you want to use 1 tablespoon of chili powder, 1 teaspoon of ground cumin, and 1/2 teaspoon of salt. Add in 1 cup of chicken broth, or you can do chicken bouillon, or you can even just do water and salt if you don't have any of those things. Before we add too much more, I just want to get the seasonings all mixed around. So just mix everything together. Then you can add in the tortillas, a 1/2 cup of sour cream, and it says actually 5 cups of shredded or rotisserie chicken. I don't know if I used like the full 5 cups, but you know, add as much as you can or as much as you have. I think canned chicken would actually go really well on this too. So that's another budget swap. Or if you're doing the beans route and you don't have any chicken, just add another can or two of black beans, and I think that would work too. For cheese, you want a 8-ounce container of shredded cheese or 8 ounces of shredded cheese. I just use cheddar. You could use Monterey Jack or whatever you have on hand. And just give everything a good mix. Like I said, it's a little tough to kind of get everything mixed in there once you have all of your like more dry ingredients. But you can get it well covered, and then we're just going to pour this into a greased 9x13 pan. This is going to bake at 375 degrees, covered with aluminum foil for about 25 minutes. Once you take it out, it should be nice and bubbly. And then you're going to put another cup of shredded cheese right over the top. Turn the heat in the oven up to 400 degrees and cook it for another 10 minutes. I happen to be out this night, so I had my husband Dan take over from here. So he's going to cover the rest of the recipe.
Oh, it's heavy. And as you can see, we took it in the oven, so it's got a lot of bubbles, and it is hot. You would not want to eat that right now. We'll let it cool off for about 10 to 15 minutes. Sometimes the kids like to put ice cubes in there, but we don't want to water down this tasty goodness. So we're just going to leave it full strength. And as you can see, you got all the little bits and pieces coming together as one. Just like the melting pot that is this country. And what I'm going to do for some extra flavor is take a little bit of cilantro and just sprinkle it about on here. Some people don't like cilantro. They think it tastes like soap. I happen to be one of them, but I also happen to like the taste of soap. So it works out for both of us. And you can never do too much of this soap flavored vegetable. That is just beautiful. It just adds a little color, a little contrast, you know, to the cheese, the corn, the red, the pulled pork, all that type of goodness in there, you know. We're gonna have some sides with this, some sour cream. We're gonna have some salsa mild. Salsa mild is really good. Market Basket brand, always Market Basket brand when we go with salsa mild. I don't know what it is, but just that authentic Mexican flavor really comes through. Yeah, so if you're just gonna have one serving, that's like 10 divided by 15. That's less than 1 calorie per serving. That's really good deal. Really good deal for you, especially if you're on a diet like I am, trying to shed some of those pounds. You know, that we gained over the winter, we gained during COVID, we gained during RSV, we gained during flu season, we gained during cold season, and now it's spring. It's time to come anew. You can see that they added this little blurb right here. This is good, a fat-free and cholesterol-free food. That's really good. That's what I look for in my salsa mild. Definitely don't want any fat in there. That'd really be weird.
I don't know about you, but he made me crack up so much because he sent that to me and I like couldn't stop laughing. So I had to leave that in there, a little dinner with Dan portion. He usually is not on camera, so I was kind of pleased to have him a little bit involved. He's very funny. I wish he would be on more. Overall, this was delicious. I did eat it the next day for lunch and I loved it. There was so much food here and it's a great way to just kind of use up odds and ends in your refrigerator. But I love the idea of adding those tortillas like that. It's perfect. Next up, we have a Big Mac wrap. I've been wanting to make one of these forever. I was kind of torn between like tacos or the wrap, but based on the size tortillas I had, I was like, we're just gonna do a full wrap. And for Dan, this was kind of reminiscent of like Applebee's, I think has like a burger quesadilla or something like that he loves because he's a big quesadilla fan. So he was a huge fan when I made these as well. So I'm just slicing up some iceberg lettuce. You can buy like the shredded iceberg lettuce if you have it. This was, again, like I'm just trying to use up what's in my cabinets and my refrigerator. So there was a piece on it that, you know, wasn't too great. We just pulled that right off and the rest of it was still really good to use in a wrap like this. So I don't even really know what exactly is on a Big Mac for onions, but I just made like the teeny minced onions that you would find like on a McDonald's cheeseburger. I just love those little onions on any burger that I have. So we just decided to use those on what we have. If you have red onion, you could use that too, because I saw that when I was doing like looking at the taco recipe, it said to use red. So whatever you have on hand. So I tried a different approach when I'm making these wraps today. It's something I had seen like on TikTok. Everyone's kind of like pressing the burger meat right onto the tortilla and then cooking it like that. I thought it looked like a cool idea from the outside, but then as I started making it, I was like, I don't know that I would do it this way again, because once you cook it, then the other side has raw meat on it, like your tortilla has raw meat. So I just made sure that everything was cooked all the way through really well all together once I made it. So the other side, I just double checked to make sure that there wasn't anything raw on there and we didn't get sick or anything. So everything was fine. But if I were to make it again, I probably would just make really big flat burgers and then just toss them onto the tortilla and then kind of crisp up the outside. The flavor was great doing it this way. So that's, if you want to go ahead and do it that way, you're not worried about it, do it. It was good. I don't know, I just was a little weirded out by it. You just want to salt and pepper your burgers or put whatever your favorite burger seasoning is on them. And place it burger side down over medium-high heat on a nonstick skillet and just cook until that burger meat is, I think there was a little bit of red in mine, but the key was once I flipped it over, I really wanted to make sure that that other side got fully cooked. And you can see like the juices there. I just wanted it cooked. That's all that mattered to me. If you have American cheese, that's even better. That's even more traditional. I just had some like shredded Mexican cheese, so that's what I use because that's just what I had on hand. And the key to the Big Mac really is like the sauce, right? And you can totally make your own sauce. I'm going to put a recipe for that down below. But I didn't because I have Thousand Island dressing on hand and I was like, it's pretty much the same thing. That's all the flavor. So I just put some onions over the top of this. You can see how crispy the outside of that tortilla got, which I just loved. And then a bunch of Thousand Island dressing and some pickles in that shredded lettuce and, make it your own. You could do whatever you want. You don't have to have like a Big Mac wrap. You could just make like a regular burger wrap, a regular burger quesadilla as Applebee's does it. And then at first I thought it was gonna be like a wrap, like a roll up. But once I tried to put it together like that, I realized you just really need to just fold it over and fold it in half. And it really did end up being like a nice burger like that, just nice in half, kind of like a quesadilla, and nice and crispy outside, really delicious. I'll definitely be making these again because what I actually did was, and maybe this is like bad parenting, but I know that my son Tommy and even Julian, they have like certain things that they like, right? So Tommy specifically is like, it's got to be a burger with just ketchup. So I told him, I was like, oh, these are just Big Mac wraps. Like he doesn't know what a Big Mac is. So he ate it because he had no idea. And so technically he ate a different type of burger than he normally likes, even with cheese and sauce on it. But he said it was delicious and he ate the whole thing. So mom win right there. If you're looking for some more budget-friendly, realistic family meals, click on this next video. Thank you so much for watching today. And make sure the next time you're on YouTube, you're watching Meals with Maria.